All right, good morning, everybody. I wasn't muted, I just wasn't talking. Good morning. Um, okay, Quincy. Um, right, good morning. Okay, we're going. I just went into the bathroom and literally thought something was wrong with my eyesight before I realized that one of the bulbs in the vanity has blown out. And so it's just a different shade in that room. Hi, Reagan. Good morning. All right, let's get our backs together. After you. Go ahead, Quincy. What are we waiting for? Okay, good morning to you too. Oh my gosh, it's freezing. Oh dear God. It's the tundra. Go ahead. Some people don't think I give you enough time out here, so I'm gonna let you run around for a little bit. Just kidding. Hurry up. Remind me when we get in the car to talk to you about the birds. Okay? We have to have a conversation about the birds. Jeffrey is down here getting ready to leave. But is my son's car behind mine? No, we can escape. All right, hold on 1 second. I can't find my wallet and I think I left it in the car. All right. Jeff has actually been working from home. I thought, I never know. Like, I don't know. Like, I thought he was working out of the house today. I thought he had to go to work. Let's hope my wallet's here because what did I do with it? I guess is my question. This is very unlike me, but last night I was doing this live and now I have to go back in the house. Okay, wait, let me walk through what happened. I went with Georgia. I brought my wallet, obviously in the house because it's not here. And then I came in. I had a Diet Coke with me. Oh, I think I know where it is. Stand by. Got it. I very rarely lose anything because I have like a photographic memory. Is that a photographic memory? I just have to stop and think, and I can go through the scenario in my head. Oh, I knew I would never leave it in the car because, again, paranoia serves a purpose. Okay, good morning. Seat warmer. Somebody made a comment on the channel yesterday, and it was like, hi, following you. Numbers here seem to be down. And I don't know if that's a troll or if it's somebody who genuinely is paying attention to that or whatever, but oh, so for me, I set the expectation, just so we're on the same page here, only because of what I've seen. Once I do a live in the morning, I'd like to see it have hit 5,000 views at a minimum, and that's it. Like, I don't anything beyond that, like in my mornings. So, I pay attention to all of these things. And if it's something that isn't working or people don't like or whatever, then I want to change and I need to fix. And so I do look at my metrics to make sure everything's okay. So for me, if we don't hit 5,000 views on a morning live after I'm done and it's up or whatever, then, and that happens for like a week or two, I would probably revisit whether or not it's worth doing this in the mornings, if that makes sense. That's pretty much how I do. I'm just talking out loud. Okay, so I do these morning things. I started them. They only got a couple, 100 people at first, then it built up to a couple thousand. And then, some morning lives like this week got 8,000 views. So for me, I've always had 5,000 in my mind. If I get 5,000 views on something that is just me talking in the morning when I'm driving, that is worth it, because that translates into, for ad revenue, that translates for me, for like, it's like $100 or to $200. And so just talking and sharing is worth it. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? I don't know why I'm getting too deep into it, but I try to read all the comments on YouTube and address them and at least like them. And it's getting harder and harder to like respond to all of them, but I like them at a minimum. And I do like to read the ones that, even the bad ones, you know what I mean? So I can like adjust. So I just want to share with anybody who is caring about my viewership or my subs or any of those things. I have a minimum threshold of 5,000 views on the morning drive, and I have to see it decline for 2 weeks before I stop it. That's in my game plan, if anybody else cares. Good morning. Somebody sent me a message and said Aiden got threatened last night and sent me like the person. They found the person and his socials. I'll send it to him. I don't know what the threat is. Like, I'm not really sure. Like, I went through this with Steve Cody, and Steve Cody was on social media and he doxed me. He found my address. He was the first person on X to find my address. It's not that hard because, again, if you run for office, your address is public. And so it wasn't that hard, but he was the first person that did it on X. And it was a little unnerving, of course, because, again, everybody down here knows where I live, but everybody out there where you all are does not know where I live. And so when he did that, I was kind of like, okay, I've got to keep an eye on this guy. And he would comment things and I would block him, and he would just create a new Twitter account every single solitary time I blocked him. And I think there was a time where it was like 11 or 12, 10, 11, 12 accounts within a couple of days span that he created. Okay, fine. Then I still wasn't really going to do anything. And then he made a YouTube video, and I know I have it somewhere because I had to save it for court, but he made a YouTube video with like demons and all of this stuff. And it was just basically like he was going to fuck my skull. Like my name was in it and all this stuff like that. Like after he would fuck my corpse and all of this stuff. And it was pretty intense. So then at that point I was like, okay, between the social media posts and the YouTube video, okay, you've got my attention. And then I started getting food sent to my house, pizza, Chinese food. And that became chaotic for my household. Literally just, Chinese deliveries coming to your house at 10:30 at night when you don't expect it, multiple days in a row, is causing chaos in my family. My kids were getting scared. My dogs were going crazy. My husband was ready to put his fist through a wall. Like, we're all set. So once I confirmed with Jen Altman that it was Steve Cody and that she was taking action against him as well, I called the police department up there, and I can't believe it, but the guy up there the cop told me, he doesn't have a car and he doesn't have the means to get to you all the way where you are. So I think you're fine. And I was like, yeah, that's not quite enough. I'm going to go get a restraining order on him. So I did. And without him being present, it was issued. And so it's got to take that level for me to really do anything. You know what I mean? Like the person that messaged me and said, I wish I was sleeping in bed with you. That scared me, and I got a call to the cops, but that person lived in another state as well, far away. Not as well. Steve lived all the way out in Western Mass, but so, somebody threatening words on the internet, I'm not really sure that is worthy of police activity. I think Aiden clearly has another situation on his hands that is causing him disruption and distress in his life, and that should fit the bill for required legal action. But sometimes things seem like they're really a bigger problem than what they are, and then sometimes things don't look like they're a big deal and they turn into a big deal. I don't know. It's very hard to navigate through this world. I know everybody said something about his spaces last night with Chris Albert and blah blah blah. I went into it. I didn't have to look for it. Popped up on my feed as soon as I went onto X. I went into it and I listened for 30 seconds and I was like, I don't know. I mean, is this the chapter of the Karen Read, John O'Keefe story that I want to be a part of? I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure. I don't know why, but we'll have to talk it out. I have no interest in this part of it. And I don't know why. I can't figure out why I'm not interested in this part. I guess like if I had to say it, please alert me when someone admits what happened in the house. Does that make sense? Like, I will get involved or I will talk about it or be interested, but I'm just not sure. I mean, unless some things were discussed last night or, you know what I mean? Like, then maybe I'm interested. I guess I don't know how to say it. I'm not the person that wants to extract the stuff. I'm not the person that wants to talk about it. Like, interpersonal relationships in the John O'Keefe situation really don't matter to me anymore. And so I don't know. I mean, can I be honest with you? Like, Chris Albert's a loser. He's a fucking loser. And unless he is honest. So here's how I view this. And maybe this is snobby. I'm not sure if this is the right way to say it. I know that there are people out there that the minute that live happened, that they were recording the whole thing, right? I know somebody is going to do it. And I know that if Chris Albert said something that pertained to Aiden or to
the murder of John O'Keefe, that the people in this arena would have that packaged up and ready for us to go. And so I personally will wait for that. I thank you for your service and thank you for doing the heavy lifting with that. I can't do it. I have no patience for it. I am not interested in it. I am definitely interested in if something like that happens, but I don't want to sift through all of the other drama to get to it. I would like a Cliff Notes version of what happened on the Spaces. I can't be that person for you. I can't. I do not have it in me. I barely have it in me to talk about the civil trial. You guys know how I feel about this. It's a lot. That's all extra. Like this Nick Rocco shit and this drama with Nick Rocco and like the Karen Reed files and all this stuff. Like I fuck that. I'm all fucking set. Like I'm all set. All set with that. Sorry. Oh, somebody wants to go ahead of me. It's just, oh my God, there's a fucking line. What are we doing? What are you all doing here? Oh, I'm late. It's 8:30. Shoot, that's why. So I didn't listen. I was just, I can't listen. I appreciate the people that do listen, and I know they're out there, and the ones that record it and the ones that will share. And if Aiden does a live on it, that's easier for me. I can't listen to that. And then, you know what I mean? Like there's all this other extra stuff with the Karen Reed stuff that is just not appealing right now to me. So yeah. Can you talk about I missed that comment. I'm sorry. I just saw, can you talk about all of the hate from, oh shit. Where are the mods? Why? If there's a troll account in there, like, it's okay. Just what you should do is block them, and then my mods will get to them later, or I'll get to them later. It says happy New Year, happy New Year 2026, True Crime Spaces 2. Okay. Cyberchick is here. Good morning, Ben. Good morning, Cyberchick. Just block the troll if it's a the trolls don't bother me. The Spaces speaks for itself. Aiden won't even need a live for this. Okay. Good. No one's trolling. Oh, okay. Was it really Chris Albert though? That right there, like, so can I just tell you something? Like in the world of X, we have to deal with this really crazy thing, which is people pretend to be other people. And I've lost my patience for trying to figure out who they are. Now, I got lucky and figured out one account, but it was sheer luck. Hold on. Good morning, Nancy.
Thank you for choosing Society. What can I get for you tonight?
Hi, good morning. Can I do a large iced white chocolate pistachio made with whole milk?
Anything else?
That'll do it. Thank you. You went over in sex club. Yeah. Okay. So listen, I can't get hype about that. I don't fucking care about Chris Albert. He's a loser. These people are losers. They have loser lives. They're all involved in a murder. And those are people I wouldn't fucking fuck with in real life. Can I just say, moving on. You can listen to a Spaces again. I definitely, by the way, see the benefit of doing these live on YouTube, like through StreamYard, as opposed to the morning drive spaces that I used to do. It's the same thing. I talk, there's no camera, but people can start, rewind, and you don't have that option when spaces is going. And it was just so like, I don't know, like one dimensional on spaces. And it's just so much better here. And again, like one of the downsides to the spaces was, if you remember when I would do the original 24 and 24s, I could never see comments because you're on X when you host a space and you can't see the comments unless you toggle over to like the actual post on X. And so this has just been such an upgrade. So props to everybody who pressured me to expand and do this differently. It's just so much better. So good morning, if you're just getting here. I got a late start today. And there's absolutely no reason for that other than the fact that my daughter is not getting out of the house in the morning and I sleep a little bit later. But we'll be back to our regularly scheduled program starting on Monday. School goes back in session. We'll be back in the car doing all of the things. Today, we have one thing to do today. Today's Friday. Jeff is feeling better. Georgia is better. Jack was never sick. I was never sick. Today, the only thing that I have to do today is get to the studio and remove more items. We have 2 big, fluffy, white, big chairs that I need to get home. And that is unfortunately going to be just one at a time in my vehicle. But we have to do that. So it's going to be a lot of driving from Somerset to Fall River, all the way up the stairs in a mill, grabbing this item, bringing it down. It's not enough where I feel like I would rent a truck, and Jeff is working during the day today. So we can't use his work truck. But today has to be that day. And that's it. Also, I think there is an issue with bringing items into where TT works at the courthouse. And so indeed, all of those things need to come back to my house. So I have cleared out a small space where some of these things can go, but I'm not happy about it because I just did a little mini purge before Christmas and now we're going to bring in more things. You can't bring things into the house without bringing things out. So like if we go to Savers, like with Georgia, and she goes shopping for clothes, you got to bring a bag of clothes with you, kid. You know what I mean? So like if we go yard sailing, we got to dump some things off at Salvation Army. Like, who are you loving and hating Scandal so far? I absolutely love Scandal. I know we have a problem. The problem is it's not just with this, it's with every single solitary show. It is the sadness that it will end. I have a real problem with this. I'm sure you all can Dr. Phil me, but to me, I have a real problem and this underlying sadness that these shows will end. I don't know what is wrong with me with that. And I will most likely never watch the last episode. It happened last night. Jeff was watching Yellowstone and I went, this was a good show. I can't believe it's off the air. And he's like, what do you care? You never watched the last of it. And I was like, dude, don't get in my face about this. Like, I can't watch the last episode of anything because then it is over. It's over. So I am thrilled. As I said, if you guys were in the chat when I was talking about it, I was really thrilled when somebody said like Scandal had like 6 seasons. And I was like, perf, awesome, great. Because then I can stretch it out. But I'm already on season 2, like episode 4 or 5. So I really have to pace myself because I don't want to like go through it really quickly. You have the same problem? Okay, so it's not just me? Because then it's over. Watch Ozark. So I want to see that. And I also want to see Succession. Is that what it's called? Succession? Wait, somebody rips out the last page of a book so that it doesn't end? And let me tell you something. Maybe we could talk about it. Hi. Yes, good morning. No straw. Great nails.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Same, you too. Really great nails. Really cutesy. After I was talking about go back to the movies in a second. After I was talking about wedding stuff the other day, my friend Melissa messaged me and she's like, bitch, I will do your nails for you for the wedding. But let's start now. It was like, okay. I think, I don't know if there's a real way to figure it out. But it has to be what happened with The Sopranos ending, which I watched live in real time. And the trauma that happened where I was with, where was I? I was home. And I was like, was I with Ron when The Sopranos ended? Must have been. I don't know. What year did The Sopranos end? And I was like, what the fuck just happened? And that ending has haunted me. I've seen House of Cards, but I won't finish the last season. I won't finish. First of all, House of Cards was never good when they got rid of Kevin Spacey. And it is what it is. But The Sopranos ending really fucked with my head. We would never know. And then he died. And then we would never know. There would never be a remake. And I didn't watch the new Sopranos remake. Absolutely not. No James Gandolfini, not watching. I don't care who's in it. I think about this all the time. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be this way. And I don't know why. But the death of James Gandolfini really, truly fucked with my head. And I don't know why. And that's wrong. We can work through this in real time. The reason is because I have father issues, because I didn't know my real dad growing up and I had an abusive stepfather. And the main character, big dick daddy energy that Tony Soprano gave on the screen, as evil as it was extremely comforting to me. And when he died, I was very, very sad in real life because that just meant I would never see more of that. I don't really care if anybody doesn't understand that. That's pretty much how I feel about it. Many years ago, the Road Show in Rhode Island, I told this story a couple of times, but a lot of you are new here. The Road Show in Rhode Island was going to start. I guess it's still a show, but it hadn't started, and they were looking for people to be the host. I was crazy for doing this. I had just had Georgia. I had a baby at home, but I always wanted to be doing this. I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to talk. And so I went to these live auditions that they had at Twin River in Lincoln, and it was an all-day thing. And you just went in front of a bunch of different things. One was a camera thing, where you talk and spoke on a camera. One was you were live interviewed by some like pretty big people in Rhode Island, like in a room, like you had to like answer questions or whatever. And I made it to the next round, and then I didn't make it after that. But one of the questions they asked was, if you could have dinner with anybody famous, who would it be? And I was like, easily James Gandolfini. That's all I wanted, was to just go have dinner with Tony Soprano. It's not my problem. I can't fix that. We can't fix that. So I don't like shows ending. I don't want them to end. The Sopranos ending was very traumatic for me. I am very thankful that there are shows. I just want to say that. I love that we have shows. I love that people have that feeling of like we had when we were kids, of seasons of shows and cliffhangers. And I hope that never goes away. Although it doesn't happen on regular TVs anymore with sitcoms and things, but I'm very grateful we have shows. I do think we're not in that same era with movies. I really miss the good rom-coms, and it just doesn't seem they make them anymore, but it is what it is. Coffee works today. I've never seen Dexter. I will say my kids love shows, and I love that they love shows. And I love that lots of their personalities are adopted from the characters they watch and the comedy that they view. And it gives them depth, I think, since we're not like international travelers, which I think could also give them depth. But if we don't have that and we don't have wealth, we'll take some good shows. I have not watched Parks and Rec, although I've seen clips of it, and I can definitely see that the comedy would probably be something I would enjoy. Not a Twin Peaks fan. Not a Twin Peaks fan. Let me just get through Scandal, please. Let me try to get through. So far, it's great. I love it. Listen, it's politics. It's like a fixer. She's a fixer. Love that. I consider myself a mini fixer. So I'm in. Somebody said it about her fashion. Every fucking outfit Olivia Pope wears is a 10 out of 10. I mean, love it. Love it. Although I have now hyperfixated on Fitz's eye sockets. They are sunken in, and I just don't know how or why they are so deep. But anyway. Oh my God. Huck, like, I haven't really seen any development in his character other than he likes to murder. He likes to murder. That's fine. But he's a lovable murderer. It's wild. I don't want to know because I still don't know. But are Fitz and Olivia together at the end? That's all I really want to know. Don't tell me. I won't look. Don't tell me. That's what I'm gonna get myself there. We'll get this. And of course I just went through a whole season of The Hunting Wives, which was great. I love that. Highly entertaining. Really, really great. Funny. It was good. Lots of plot twists. That had me. I was like, wait, what? Just it was nothing. I really thought it was about women that hunted. It is, but they also murder. Also, back up. Do you know in The Hunting Wives, if you've seen it, and if you haven't, mute it because I can't. In The Hunting Wives, the woman that dies, well, that's too broad. The mother who they think killed the teenage daughter. I mean, the teenage girl, right? The one that died. One of the Hunting Wives, the one that died, she's in Scandal. She's Quinn in Scandal. Just younger. How fuck long ago was Scandal? It's a long time ago. Also yesterday, I watched the first 2 hours of MTV. Somebody has it on YouTube because apparently MTV has stopped streaming music. I thought that happened a long time ago, but I digress. MTV is no longer the MTV that we grew up in. I'm wondering when the people in our generation are going to be in power and start bringing all the shit back that we want to come back. But okay, we'll just wait. MTV's done. Somebody had a clip on X and you could click on it and it was like, here's the first 2 hours of MTV ever. And so I watched that yesterday. Lots of Rod Stewart. Lots of Rod Stewart. Lots of Pat Benatar. Lots of 38 Special. But obviously the VJs were there. Mark Goodman, Nina Blackwood. So it was a good time. Listen, this is the problem. We'll go down a hole of all of the things from our childhood that we're nostalgic for, and we can't handle it. And then I'm gonna get off of this thing, and I'm gonna have this like little mini depression going on, and I don't want that. Not today. I used to look forward to MTV as well. I mean, I would love that programming again. My high school years. Give me MTV programming in 1993, 1994. Thank you. Where I'd wake up in the morning and That's the Way Love Goes by Janet Jackson was on the screen before I had to get the bus. And when I came home, Beavis and Butthead was on. And then it was interrupted because O.J. Simpson was in a Bronco. Like, give me that life. A little while. I don't want it all. Time is a thief, man. And I can't go down that hole right now because it's depressing. But time is a thief. What did you guys think about Georgia last night? I have not gone back to listen. When I went and pumped gas, you had her up for a few minutes. Was she chit chatty? Did she talk? How did it go with Georgia? Oh, for those of you who are interested, I got an email from YouTube as like clockwork, because if you missed last night, we did an impromptu live stream because I had to go pick up Georgia and Taunton at her boyfriend's house. So I said, okay, let me just go along for the ride with you guys. And on the way back, Georgia wanted McDonald's, so we went together, all of us, for that ride. And then we risked it all and played Hamilton and sang Hamilton. And everybody was very worried about a copyright strike. I got an email and it said, it basically was like, we've detected this, 2 songs from Hamilton. This is not a copyright strike. And they are going to revenue share with you on it. So I don't know what that means, but usually whenever I do a video, there's a little green $ on my side, and that means that I'm earning ad revenue. And in this one, it has an arrow up and down, a green arrow up and down. And when you click on it, it says revenue sharing, which means, sounds like Hamilton will get some of the ad revenue that I make. And it's basically like being a good partner is what I've seen. They're being good partners. So they get a cut, I get a cut, the video gets to stay up, there's no strike. Now, would I risk it all again like that? Probably not. But nothing happened. Everything is good. And me howling like a cat to "You'll Be Back" is earning Hamilton some money. Lin-Manuel is getting some sense off of me last night. Spicy Misty says, fun and worth it, 100%. Worth it. So how was Georgia? Georgia was great. I love, I was trying to think about this, like, because I'm constantly reflecting on what works and what doesn't work on this channel. And I hate to say it, but access to my every day-to-day boring life is really what hits. Everybody likes to, like, there's a level of reality TV voyeurism here that takes place. And, I see that as something people enjoy. I obviously don't mind sharing, but like, is there a downside to that or whatever? I'm not really sure. So far, so good. Not yet. It has to be that way because not sharing my family, keeping them secret, I think it's just, it might not work down the line. That's because your life is so full of drama. Thank you. I agree. What will happen today in the world of drama? What will happen today? I've replaced your love for reality TV. Glad to be of service, madam. Just wait. Campaign season starting. Somerset campaign season is starting. So, listen, I know that some people think it's stupid, and that's fine. You just haven't experienced this yet, or you're not paying attention, or you're very wealthy. But what happens in your town politics and the people that are making decisions about your community are extremely important. And I'm going to give you the perfect example. Somerset is going to be getting a battery storage facility. Some people do not like these things. Tesla is going to have a battery storage facility here. And it doesn't have to definitely be that way. Okay. It doesn't have to be that way. It matters who's on your zoning board. It matters who's on your planning board. It matters who's on your board of selectmen. Small little people who live in small little towns make big fucking decisions that impact your life and your day-to-day life, especially if you live near a potential battery storage facility, which Messica Machado will be. Okay? So it matters who is in elected positions, it matters. I know it doesn't. And if I can just say to you, if to you, you feel like this shit doesn't matter to you, right? Then that's a wonderful place of blissful ignorance where you live. I can't. Maybe it's like TT. It's not interesting to TT. As you saw driving by, she was like, I wonder what's going there. I have to look. I'll look that up today. Maybe it doesn't matter to you. It matters to me. And if I can have some sort of a hand in controlling things that happen in my town, I would, because I'm going to tell you something. There's a lot of people that don't pay attention, and then bad shit happens because evil people are in charge and they get to do what they want, and they like thrive in the environment where they're in power. Everybody is, experiencing apathy. Nobody cares. And like, you know what I mean? Like, then people do mean things, and powerful people do mean shit and bad shit. And then because nobody's looking and nobody wants to do anything, those people rise to the next level of power. And that is how you get Maura Healey as your governor. Like, it starts small. It starts right here. So Somerset has a yearly election every year. I wish it wasn't that way. I wish it were different. I wish we did every 2 years, but it is what it is. Every year we have an election. This year, Jesus, is it today? It might be today. It's got to be today, I think. You can go and get papers to run for office. And the process and how you run for office, I know it well. I've done it many times. Essentially, in Somerset right now, we have a 3-member board of selectmen. They are the people in Somerset are the ruling party. The people in Somerset make a decision on how we spend our tax dollars. We make a decision on everything. We make a decision on if we build a new middle school. We make a decision on an override. We make a decision on if we put new carpets in the library. It goes to a town meeting once a year. Sometimes we have a second meeting, like a special town meeting, but no money gets spent without the town making that decision. Okay. Again, most people don't go. We have 19,000 people in our town, and our town meeting usually has around 300 people that go to town meeting. Your girl never misses a town meeting, by the way. I am at every fucking one, come hell or high water. And every time they make an announcement, we're going to vote on this, the public can go up and speak on it. And so I usually speak on things that matter to me, and I try to sway the vote in the room to get people to vote a certain way. And I've had success with that. And I've changed the vote where we thought people were going to vote a certain way. And then, I've gotten up to speak alongside others. And then people would come to me afterwards and say, you know what? I didn't know that. Thank you for sharing that. I changed my vote. And then we got the vote that I wanted, and the people that I work with want. So we're a little bit of a controlling group when we're motivated. I think once we achieved some success and we eradicated all of the corrupt politicians in our town, a lot of people have felt like we can relax. It's like, okay, let's relax. You can't relax. You can never relax. You can never say, we don't need to pay attention right now, or what. You can't, unfortunately. You can't. So I'm thankful that I have a group of people that are continuously motivated. We've learned from what happened in the past here. So right now we have a seat for the Board of Selectmen that is going to be open. Jameson Souza is deciding to run for state rep. So we know at a minimum we have an open seat. There's a lot of recon work that goes into this. We need to figure out who they're going to be running for selectmen. Sometimes you have spies, and I'm not lying to you about this, but sometimes you have spies. Sometimes you have people on the inside. Sometimes those people, they need things in their life, and you can facilitate that. And in exchange, they will give you information for things. Sometimes there are people that just like to chit chat, and the people they chit chat with, like me, and they like to chit chat with me. Sometimes sometimes you just get information in the weirdest of ways. And so the Democratic Town Committee in Somerset is, it used to be a big deal. It's not anymore because we got rid of their state rep. And Justin Thurber beat her. And so their state rep doesn't have any power anymore. She's not elected. So, but they're very motivated and they do work, and they, the job of a town committee is to cultivate candidates. And so the Republican side of this is we have to have our candidate that we're going to run or two. And then they have their candidate that they're going to run, because they'll never not have a candidate. It used to be the Republicans never put anybody up, but that's never going to happen again because I run shit there. And so then there's always like the other option where people who aren't connected to either party, who genuinely want to come in and serve, and they come in, and maybe there's a sleeper candidate. Who knows? But basically what we do is we look at every single solitary open position, not even open, incumbent could run, it doesn't matter. We look at every position and then we plan out who we're going to run based on in like certain things. And we come up with a plan, and then we lock in our candidates, and then we get them across the finish line. And sometimes it's not easy. Last year's election was one of the most difficult elections I've ever seen. It was the dirtiest election from the other side. And we won by 7 votes. And I think it maybe was 9, because there maybe 9 votes, 7 votes. We cranked out that win, and it was not easy. And also took the high road the whole time. This is why, like, I have an arsenal of information on candidates or potential candidates. I pay attention to things. I learned because people did it to me. You know what I mean? So when I was running for office, people would bring up all of the bad things in my life. You know what I mean? And so I learned pretty quickly that there's value to all of those things. And if you want to run for office, nothing is off the table. That's it. If you choose to run, you better walk into it knowing that absolutely the worst part of your life can be exploited to sway a vote. And my job, at least locally, is to gather all of that information on whoever is running against a Republican and make sure the public knows that information. That's my job. And I do that because nobody was doing that. And that is why Democrats were able to walk right into seats, never had opponents. Nobody knew anything. Like Carol Fiola, for example. Like Carol Fiola is a state rep. And if you go back on my X account, you'll see the video that I made about the connection between Carol Fiola, her husband, and his quote unquote nonprofit, and laws that she writes that benefit her husband. Nobody ever talked about that down here. It was talked about at fucking Dunkin' Donuts, but did anybody put it all together in an easily digestible form and make a video about it and share it so that people could share it with other people? No. Nobody was paying attention. And that's why she walks right into office time and time again. And it's the most corrupt fucking shit I've ever seen in my life. So you know what? I use my skill set for this. You know what I mean? Now, do I think that even the smallest elections get overlooked? I do, because here, like, let me just break this down for you in a really. Jamison Souza ran for selectman, okay? And we were not very organized in that election, the Republican Town Committee. And a candidate ran against him who I was not involved in. And I was asked by the people that were supporting this candidate to get involved at the very end of the election, 1 month to go. So his name was Lorne Lawless, and he's a closet Republican. So for me, that was okay. Like, I knew he was a Trump guy. And people came to me in town and said, we're going to lose this election. He's not listening to anybody. He's not doing what he needs to do. And, you know, we had a good team of people that were running the campaign, but they were at kind of like their wits' end. And so I met with a couple of people, stakeholders, and they were like, can you come in? And I was like, okay. And so I met with the candidate and I said, if I come in, we've got to do it this way. And he was like, okay. So I called a meeting of all of the people that were involved and I laid out a timeline. I had a schedule. You know, some things we just couldn't get done because it was 1 month left. And we really, really tried to turn the campaign around in the last 30 days. And it was a disaster because the candidate is just a mess and he doesn't listen to anybody else. And there was a lot of infighting. And the best example was I organized a call bank for him. So I got all of the voting lists for town and I organized a whole group of people to go and make phone calls on his behalf a week or two before the election. We had an attorney and his wife who were very generous and gave us a huge office. So everybody had a room and a phone. We brought pizza, candy, water, snackies, and a script. And I taught everybody how to make phone calls. Okay. So you get 12 to 15 people on a Thursday willing to come and work for your candidate and make phone calls and to try to understand whether or not somebody would be voting for your candidate, right? And so we do this and it's very fun and everybody's excited. And, you know, some people gotta love the older people who are like, you know, getting into long conversations. It's just this, I love this stuff, okay? The candidate didn't come. The candidate did not come to the call banking event. And so everybody was like, is he coming? Is he coming? And I was like, no, he's not coming. He's being a dick. Push through. We lost that election. Okay. We lost that election by a couple hundred votes. And he lost to Jamison Souza. And Jamison Souza has now taken that 3 years as a selectman and is now going to parlay that into trying to be a state rep, who literally makes a decision and votes on how tax dollars are allocated for this whole state. They vote on migrant shelter funding. They vote on home-based funding. They vote on all of the things that you and I today are bitching about in Massachusetts. And so because we did not have a good candidate in Somerset, we did not have a good team in Somerset, we lost an election, that person won, and now he has had 3 years of name recognition, voting in town, lots of good B-roll video that he can share and say, hey, this is what I did. And now he's going to try and beat Justin Thurber and become our state rep. And so that is why every election counts. Every election counts. The smallest election. Somebody could take running for Library of Trustees and then everybody goes, oh, they're so nice and they're so sweet. They were our Library of Trustees for 3 years. Great. Then they're like, oh, now I'm going to run for school committee. And then they're going to go, okay, that's so great. We love her. Sure. And then before you know it, you've got somebody on your school committee voting and saying that it's definitely okay for books with blowjobs to be given to kindergartners. That is how it starts. It's not like, how did we get here? I know how we get here. I know how we get here. It's not a surprise to me. And so, yes, it is election season in Somerset. We have a bunch of seats that we have to start looking at candidates for. We have some strategy. We have to figure out who's who. I know a little bit about the other side right now, not a lot. I'm not going to say anything else about that. And that's it. And the only thing you can do is you can hope to win. But my biggest problem I have is people running, taking a spot on the ballot and running and not giving everything to a campaign, not running with everything, not even picking the right candidate. We can't work miracles with people. You know what I mean? You got to check off some boxes. Like your girl here is not electable. So, you know, I would never, now that we're organized and we know what we're doing and we've had some success, I would never put myself on the ballot. No, thanks. Oh, TT's here. Oh, you're home today. So sick and tired of fraud from the top to the bottom. I mean, look at what is happening in Minnesota. That is because somebody at one point was a city councilor and they ran and turned into a state rep, and then they turned into like a congressman, and then they were voting on money and they look the other way. And then maybe when they got into that position, then they got a state job, and then they're the one that's making the budgets work. Or so, like, it is not, these people just don't drop out of the sky and have leadership roles. It is not like that. They all start somewhere. Always. And you cannot overlook the smallest of elections. And so it's election season, and it's a lot of work. And I'm always very thankful that I have a couple of people in my life that are equally as motivated. Kathy Souza, who is really a big, she changed everything down here in Somerset for us. And we'll talk about that story another time. Maybe she'll come on the show. But Kathy is equally as committed and motivated, and she is my sounding board. She's the one I meet in parking lots. We don't talk about anything in text, or we meet in person when we're talking politics. And so, TT wants to tell everybody, the besties who loved her coat, it's from the J. Crew factory. They have it in gray and red. It's 70% off today, so it will be about $75. So, TT, I don't think you can drop the link in there, but tell them the name of the coat and let them. She was very excited to share that with you. They don't have it in camel, but they have it in gray and red. I don't want to alarm anybody, but someone in a big white van has pulled up on the side of me. And there's about 12 other parking spaces here, and he pulled in one spot between us. It's called the City Coat. Thanks, TT. I can't make her a mod right now because hold on, I'm reading some comments. Most of Minnesota is fine. It's the big cities that are causing all of the problems. Oh, he just unrolled his window. Is he trying to talk to me? Oh, he's feeding the birds. I don't know who just said, TT, get Jessica to come to your house right now. We are not doing this. We are not doing this again. Every day I am getting in a car and I end up driving. You know what? Who the real MVP is? This Jeep Cherokee. Because this poor thing has been driving all over creation. I'm due for an oil change in around 1,200 miles. We've got time. We're not going to TT's house, Coffee Nut. Seagulls are rats with wings. Yeah, I mean, this guy parked right on the side of me. There's a ton of parking spaces to my left and to my right. Cyberchick Boston, we are not going to New Bedford again. I have to go to the studio today. I told Jack to be up by 9. He's probably not up, but we're going to the studio today. I have to get things out of the studio. We stop with the field trips. TT can help? No. Although she should come and get her own stuff that's going to her office, but I can't bring TT to the studio because we need all the space in my car to put all of the things in. Oh, and TT's husband is sick. Absolutely not. I dodged the sickness with my husband and I dodged the sickness with Georgia by the grace of God. I don't know if it's incubating right now, but I've dodged it and I'm not going to get it secondhand from TT. Look at these people telling me to get in the car and drive to TT. I'm not doing it. Oh, TT is sniffling as well. Absolutely not. You were in the car with me the other day. Great. Love that. Love that for me. No, today we must. My landlord has been absolutely wonderful and amazing and kind. And we have to make sure we get all of the things out soon. Although it's for no reason. Nothing's going there, but still. I have to face it. I have to face the studio. I've ignored it. I don't want to. I'm sad about it. But I have to face it. I have to clean it out completely. Again, we don't like endings. I've got the antibodies. I feel bad about Bay Harbor Beauty because she posted something and tagged me and then like the haters came at her and stuff like that. And like, you know, here was this woman who was just watching my show organically, you know what I mean? Out of interest, found me during Karen Reed and then, you know, never offered me anything, was not like, oh, let's, you know, take my stuff or whatever, nothing like that. But, you know, sees me talk about washing my face with soft soap. And she's like, please let me send you some of my stuff. Sends me your stuff. I talk about it. And now, you know, we'll share it with the besties, you know, like here, this is what I use. And people are just like attacking her online. And I'm like, I don't know. I haven't spoken with her yet, but I don't know if it's worth it to go through all of the drama and all these things that people are talking to her. And I hate to see it happen. But my only hope is that a lot of the besties are buying things and it's worth it, you know? I know I saw some of the bestie bunnies getting her back. I appreciate. Oh, thank you. I think that's great for her. She's so sweet. She's so sweet. It's more exposure for her. I mean, somebody can look. She has to have seen an influx of orders. I hope it's worth it. I just hate that they go after people like that. You know what I mean? It's just, it sucks. It's no different than like, I'm not Meredith O'Neill's target. You know what I mean? Like Aiden is her target, but like I support him. And so I became a target. I will, like, I'm not the best person to talk about anything clearly because I just don't have much experience. All I did was I tried all of the things at least once to see if it affected my skin, which is very, very sensitive. And I got absolutely no allergic reactions. I didn't break out, absolutely nothing. I use that gel face moisturizer thing every day and I have never had an issue. And my face, I just feel is like supple. It's softer. You know what I mean? Like, I can only speak from what I know, which is I'm addicted to that particular product. Addicted. It's my comfort face cream. I'm so glad you and Nurse Kim talked. I am too. I'm very happy about that. I hope she and I can meet for a beverage one day. Good morning, Olivia and Mags. Look at TT going, be right back. Do a combined outing. Yeah, I want to do my own, obviously, first, because I want to be able to gauge without another collaborating person, you know, if people are interested in coming out and doing a meet and greet with me, I think that seems just like the natural next step for us. Like I talk to a lot of you already, you know what I mean? Like whether it's here, whether it's in messages, whether it's on X, some are on Facebook Messenger, and then obviously text messages, and some are on email. And I don't know, I just feel like that would be the next step. I think meeting everybody in a space where it's fun or whatever that seems very natural and normal. I would love to do it. And then hang out. I don't know if I should be doing a show while I'm doing it, but that makes me just feel like I wouldn't be able to talk to people. So I feel like it's just going to be like, we were talking through this the other day, like, let's just go to the casino and everybody like hang out and talk and have drinks and take pictures together and stuff. You know, that sounds fun to me. And then live stream it for some of the besties that aren't there. Maybe. But see, that's sad. Like some of the besties don't live here. Jenny Lyons lives in Minnesota. I thought you were close. Bay Harbor Beauty is in here. Like, it's sad. Danny's here. Good morning, Danny. Hi, Danny. Oh my God, Wright's Chicken Farm. Does everybody know what Wright's Chicken Farm is? All right, Wright's Chicken Farm is in Rhode Island. And I think we would be too hype for Wright's Chicken Farm. Although that could be an option for somewhere else, but down the line. But Wright's Chicken Farm is a place that you go and they only serve one meal. Although I think there's another option, but we never got it. Wright's Chicken Farm is family style food. So it just comes on bowls on your table. You pay a price. I don't know. I haven't been in many years, but I grew up going there. They put chicken, salad with their Wright's Farm dressing, French fries, and shells with like a spaghetti sauce. That's their spaghetti sauce. And that's the meal. And you just eat that family style. And from what I remember, when a thing of pasta was done, they just replaced it and put a new one on your table. Well, so whether you have 5 or 15 people, everybody sits at the table and that's it. And you guys will probably know, but there's like a store. I used to get like candies from there. You can buy the salad dressings from there. Over the course of like when my kids were little, we've gotten more sophisticated with dinner in my household. But when my kids were little, I used to say we're having Wright's chicken for dinner, and I would just do a rotisserie chicken with French fries, shells and pasta, and salad. You can buy the Wright's dressing somewhere, like local, some places have it. So that's what I would make for dinner. They sell the dressing. I've never had a chicken pot pie from there. But I know that they sell the sauce too. Yes. I love how you compliment their nails. I try to hype up besties in real life all the time. You never know if that could make like somebody's day. Also, like they're doing a service. I don't like tipping. I do. I'm forced to tip. I don't like tipping. But I don't know. I used to own a coffee shop, and so tips were an important part for the girls that worked there. But Tipsy Seagull, that's also I mean, Fall River has, especially in the summer, some amazing bars. Like down in the area where the Tipsy Seagull is, we have Pier 52, which is on the water. You guys can look that up. There's also Canned Heat, which is like they've got bar pizza, but they only have beer, but they have really great music. It's all in that area. There's a new place, Morgan's Cantina over there. I haven't been there yet, but it's a Mexican restaurant. I mean, we could make a whole night of it, but that has to be summertime. We're going to do something before that. It's going to be for my birthday. TT will be there, so you can meet TT, you can meet Jeff, and we can just do a thing where everybody can come and meet everybody, and we can just have a night. I have an idea. Listen, I like the casino idea, but I don't want to be distracted by slot machines, to be honest with you. Like all the besties will be there and somebody's going to find me in a corner betting $5 a spin on some chicken fucking slot machine. Like I'll be distracted by the machines. So I'm not sure if we should if we should do it at casino, but I have a couple of other ideas of places that we can go and we can do it and we could have fun. The only thing that has to be is there has to be music. There needs to be live music. I don't care if it's a DJ or a band, there has to be music. Casino is not a good meet and greet. Yeah, and also the problem is with any casino, I'm going to run into people. I'm going to run into people I know. Listen, I can't plan this whole thing because I'm planning a wedding, but somebody down at Twin River where the blackjack tables aren't arcade machines anymore. I don't know. Can someone do me a favor? Can someone tell me what the days of the week for the 15th, 16th, and 17th are of March of 2026? What does that look like? And I'm going to tell you right now of a tentative date. Does Taunton still have flea markets? Yes, they do. Jack and Georgia go to them with their dad because used to be the thing they'd do with their dad because they would sleep over Saturdays into Sundays, and the Taunton flea markets are on Sundays. But yes, I used to go to Taunton flea markets with the kids all the time when they were little. If you guys don't know, it's like this big flea market thing, but that used to be the place to get Webkins and hermit crabs. March 15th is a Sunday. Oh, so that's going to be a challenge. Oh, no. Okay, that might work because then we would be looking at the Saturday before, so March 14th. Okay. So let's do a tentative March 14th, which would allow, remember I talked about this? This will be problematic for TT and I going to Newport for our actual birthday to go to Brick Alley Pub, because I guarantee you, actually, yeah, we're not going to Newport, but I guarantee you they will most likely be doing the parade that weekend. They won't do it after St. Patrick's Day. So the parade in Newport will most likely be that Saturday, or I don't know if they do it on Saturday or if they'll do it on Sunday. So TT, if you're listening, we might run into an issue. We might have to go the week after, but we could look at Saturday, March 14th as the tentative date. But I'm going to need RSVPs. I can't hold an event and have 8 people show up. I will not, that will damage my ego, which is fragile. And I will I'll talk to TT about this. Listen, I can tell you one thing. Hotel rooms are super cheap in March, anywhere you go. Easy peasy, perfect. Because I'm not kidding. I think if I do go on a trip with Jeff, it's going to be like that weekend right after that. Jess, ask Jimmy if there's a date for the Wilbur in March. Oh, okay. Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to have to be down this way. It's going to have to be in this area. I'm going to need to be close to home because it's TT and Jeff. And so we'll have to be close to home. One time, can I tell you something? So this will be, I just realized there's another car and there's a man. Okay. Hi. Van is gone, but there's a new man here. So listen, here's what I'll do. I'll plan an event. It'll be tentative March 14th, Saturday. Anybody who can come, and that's pretty much it. Also, there have to be boundaries because while 99.9% of you are absolutely normal human beings, it doesn't go past the event. We're not going out to a secret location afterwards. We're going to go do a meet and greet for a couple of hours and hang out and have fun and take pictures and just have some drinks and dance and sing. That's it. Don't make it weird. Okay? Don't make it weird. No weirdos. Don't make it weird because then we won't be able to do it again. And if it doesn't go well and not a lot of people go, then we won't do it. Or we'll just see what it's like in the summer and we'll try it again. We'll try 2 times. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm not kidding. Don't fuck around. I'm not doing something if there's going to be 10 people because that is a big fear of mine. I also will say this. I can't look at distractions about people trying to micromanage it. I will take an executive approach to all of the planning. It'll just be, here it is. I will share the info with you. I will make it easy and pleasing, and that's it. And I'm going to give you the perfect example of why. One time, I had this really great idea with this friend group I had. And I wanted to do a round town scavenger hunt, okay? For no reason, just something for this friend group that I used to be a part of to do. Now, I was friends with one couple, and because of that, we met some other people, but I wasn't really truly friends with all of those people. It was just the other couple, but I wanted to do something fun. So I had this idea in my head. I wanted to do a scavenger hunt, an adult scavenger hunt in the late May. It was late May. Might have been Memorial Day weekend. I grew up and I had an aunt and uncle that used to do a Halloween party scavenger hunt. And I was a part of it for several years. And it made a very lasting impact on me because I saw what grown adults with expendable income and time could do. And they made these Halloween parties that were absolutely wild. And you'd get a bag, you'd have a car and your people, and you get a bag, and in it had instructions and a flashlight, and it would tell you what you had to get. And then the first person or group back to the house and had everything won, and you got points for everything. And then you were back at the house and you had a party. And I was part of a team one year, and I will never forget, like, one of the things on it was raw meat, right? Raw meat. So a lot of people would go to the grocery store and go get raw meat, or if they had it at their home. Do you know what my team brought in for raw meat? I will never fucking forget this. Jesus. We were driving and we passed roadkill in the middle of New Boston Road in Fall River. It was a dead squirrel in the middle of the road. And I said, I bet we'll get a lot of points for that. And so we turned around and pulled over on the side of the road. And I happened to have a campaign sign. And of course I did. Of course I did. It's so on brand for Jessica. I had a campaign sign in my trunk for George DeCombe, who was running for mayor. And I fucking scooped up the roadkill onto this campaign sign, put it in my trunk, and brought it to the house as my raw meat. Okay. I like to win things. I like to win. I like to win campaigns, Halloween scavenger hunts, whatever. So it was, one of the things was we had to go to a cemetery and we had to like find a gravestone, and we had to like take a piece of paper and a crayon or a chalk and like go over it. Like, it was just really well done. And you got a tape that you put in your car, a cassette tape, and you played it, and he like recorded those. I mean, it was just so sophisticated, and nobody has ever done anything like that since then. And that's 25. Julia wasn't even born, or maybe she was. Yeah, Julia was born long time ago. But I wanted to do a local scavenger hunt in teams, and it was like places around town you had to go, but also included in it was like you had to go into a bar and do a shot with the bartender and take a picture. Like it all involved photos. It was like, so I had this whole thing and I was planning it. And we had a date and I let people give feedback. And it ultimately got so argumentative, it never happened. And it started off normal. It was like, oh, I think instead of doing this, you should do it this day and at this time. And I was like, okay. And so I changed it. And then some people couldn't go. And then I was like, fuck. And then it was like, oh, I don't think we should go just in Somerset. You should, it got out of control. I was taking advice from everybody and it ultimately destroyed it. And so, as much as I love you all, I will not be taking any advice. You will be given instructions. You show up, you show up. If you don't, you don't. I can't listen to any feedback from anybody. You're all big girls. You're all adults. You can all find your own hotels if you want to stay here from out of town. You can all make a decision on whether or not it's something you even feel has value. If it doesn't, don't come. I don't know what to tell you, but I will not be holding your hand through any of this. Somehow, some way, I just shut my heat off and it was absolutely freezing cold in here. So it doesn't work to get everybody involved. Too many cooks in the kitchen. You just show up and that's it. If you don't, you don't. You want to miss a good time? That's on you, bestie. If you don't want to have fun, not my problem. If you don't want to take pictures with all of us and do selfies and throw them all over the internet to make everybody jealous, that's on you. Okay. It's been only 1 hour and a half. I'm about to pull into my driveway. We all know that there's a chance that that'll change and we'll end up going back somewhere else. But right now, the intent is to end this and get in the house and get my kids up and get to the studio and get some things out of there and feel accomplished in regards to this. Whew. Okay, here we are. My husband takes oil of oregano for cough. What's that? All right, let's read some comments. Talking about Chick-fil-A. There's a Chick-fil-A that is, but we don't like endings. There's a Chick-fil-A being built right here in Somerset. Listen, we'll have a plaza that will have a Chick-fil-A, a Jersey Mike's, Starbucks, and what's the other one? It's not Qdoba. Is it Qdoba? I don't even know what it is. What's the other thing in Somerset? They're choosing for you. You don't even get a choice. It's just they basically make decisions for you on where you spend your money. They just drop these things in your town and then that's it. Now you're a Starbucks person. Now you're a Chick-fil-A person. We have Raising Cane in Fall River. We have Raising Cane and Chick-fil-A in Fall River and a Chipotle and a Five Guys. Everything. Wingstop is coming to Raynham. That sounds like something I would be at all the time. Wait, that's exciting. For those of you who live in my area too, in case you didn't know, across the street from the Swansea Mall where the movie theater used to be, it looks like there's going to be a Five Below. There's going to be a Burlington Coat Factory. I just saw a story about it. Never been to Chick-fil-A. It's good. Jersey Mike's is phenomenal. If I'm getting a sub and it's not from Marcucci's or Marzilli's, like, those, Jersey Mike's far superior than Subway or D'Angelo's or anything like that. Beyond. I'm excited for Wingstop. Oh, Aldi. Thank you, Casey. There's going to be an Aldi. We also have a Sonic in Somerset, which is crazy because we don't have... Yeah, the Raising Cane's, they're all across the street from each other. Have a good day, Krista. Also, Don't sleep on Denny's in Fall River. Georgia and I went there one day after school. She had a half day and I picked her up and we went to Denny's. And honest to goodness, like the food was just perfection. And it was just really comforting in there. And I knew for a time that the Denny's in Fall River was shit because it just was. But I'll tell you, a lot to be said for a chain restaurant like that that made a little bit of a comeback here. It's clean, it's warm, the food was great, it's not that expensive. I was just really happy with it. We have a lot for a small town. It sucks. It's too much. We have a Chick-fil-A going up straight across the street from Kentucky Fried Chicken. And I understand they're totally different things, but like, what do you get from Kentucky Fried Chicken anymore? I get a peach Mountain Dew. They have a peach Mountain Dew on the menu. And if I'm really in a bind and we have nothing to eat, like we'll go get like those mashed potato bowls or whatever. But I can't tell you the last time we ate Kentucky Fried Chicken. That used to be a go-to when our kids were little. They loved it. Now, not so much. Yeah, Denny's is really great. I mean, we would go to, what is it called? IHOP out in Dartmouth. The kids love that, the pancakes and everything. Like that's a good family spot. Like I remember Georgia when she was like turned 8 or 9, like she just wanted to go to IHOP. But Denny's is doing well. Good morning from England. Well, they didn't say good morning. I'm saying good morning to them. I don't know what time it is there. All right, what else is going on? What have I missed? Anything? Because all I see is things about food in the chat because I can only literally see 3 comments at a time. Never been to a Waffle House. Cryford is going after Mazza. That's sounds like a bad idea. That sounds like the nail in the coffin. Firehouse Subs, the closest one we have is in Franklin. Yeah, I have no idea where. I'll take Ben's word for it. Did we talk about Chris Albert? I did in the beginning, and I talked and said I tried to listen and I wasn't interested. I can't figure out why none of that is interesting me whatsoever. I know there's a YouTube channel out for Karen. I didn't go to that. I don't know. I'm blessing and releasing that to other people, and then I will get the Cliff's Notes version of it. We still have a Friendlies in Swansea, but it's nothing like it used to be, unfortunately. We had so many wonderful childhood memories at Friendlies. I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but we used to be able to go and feed our whole family for like $50 at Friendlies when the kids were little. I can't believe that because now you can't. It's just that was like our very special place to go with the kids. You know what I mean? For end of school, report cards. It's just the portions changed, the prices went up, and it's very sad. I'm a firm believer that really, really good employees can keep a business going, and it's usually the first thing that they cut. And then people are overworked and miserable, and you have high turnover in staff. But I really do believe good employees can keep a business going like that. Monster Sunday at Friendlies. Yep, my kids absolutely love. I wish I took more photos. I have some. I have a ton. I used to take pictures all the time when we're in there, but like I wish I took more photos of my kids when they were little at Friendlies because I know it's going to be a thing of the past sooner enough. I did. I said hi to Danny from Rat House. He was here. I said good morning. Yeah, I feel sad that it's not as affordable as it used to be. Mazza posted his article. Bill and Janet are wonderful people. Unhinged Crawford posted a. Hold on. Twice never hurts. Good morning, Danny. Maza posted an article saying Bill and Janet are wonderful people, and Unhinged Crawford posted a comment. You play both sides. You're a punk for subs. What do you think Karen and Bill think about you? You know what I think? Do you know what I think? I can't. I'm not going to say it. I'm just reading these comments. Um, you, you guys are, uh, I think that I'm just reading your comments. So here's my take on Brian and Mike, because obviously it's dominating the chat. What I here's if I was just talking to one person, right? If I was talking to Jeff and Jeff was in the car and I was explaining this whole situation, here's exactly what I would be saying right now. I have continued to talk about Brian and Mike on my lives and got them all the way to the edge of Unhinged Town, where they are making their whole lives, Brian especially, about me. He's constantly bringing me up. He's made it his whole personality now. He has found his is doing all of these things. He's commenting, he's fat shaming me. He's doing all of this. It has riled him up. It has done absolutely everything. Mike has taken his shots at me. All of these things. I've got them all the way there. And now I'm never going to talk about them again. I'm never going to say a bad word about them again. I want to let you know, like, that's how the show started. I'm never going to say anything about them again. And now I have built their personalities around hate towards me. And now I'm pulling the rug out from underneath them, and I'm never going to say another word about them again. And now all they have is this platform that was already burnt to the ground. And now they have made everything about me. Brian has literally posted about me dozens and dozens of times. And now it's over. And now what do you have left? You have nothing left. If I don't bring him up, if I don't talk about him, if I don't go back and forth, if I don't take my digs, that man has absolutely nothing left. And I'm cutting him off at the height of it. I'm cutting you off, Brian, at the height of your hate, at the height of your posts, when every single day you're commenting and you're putting up these crazy memes and you're doing all this shit. You're fucking right, Tommy, we did it. And now it's over. It's done. It was going to be done, but I was going to explain it on Bunny After Dark next week. But like, okay, we'll do it right here, right now. We're done. You're never going to hear me again. You've got nothing now. You've made your whole fucking personality. I brought you right to the edge of the fucking cliff, right to the edge of the cliff. And you've built it up. You've made it your personality now. Now you're a strong man. Now you're going after me. You're fat shaming me. No content, no nothing, just insults and shit and making me look like absolute piece of shit. Everything. You are getting ratioed in your comments like nobody has ever seen. There is not, yes, Brian, there isn't even one good comment in a thread on me. It's just you're getting obliterated. I brought you all the way there, Brian, and now I'm leaving you there, right at the edge of the fucking cliff. And what do you have now? You have absolutely nothing. Your channel is destroyed. You have nobody watching. You have no views. And now we're never going to talk about you again. So you've got big things coming in 2026? Yeah. Okay. Good luck. And I'm going to be very honest with everybody here, just so that you know, this was the plan all along. This was the plan all along. Once he started ramping it up, okay, ramp it up, Brian. Ramp it up. Because unlike Brian, I think long game and I think all the way down to the end. But what happens if Jess Machado never mentions Brian LTL again? What do you have left? Nothing. You have nothing. You have a bad show with 300 viewers and half of those there to watch for me. They're doing my work and they're taking one for the team and they're listening just so they can get clips of you talking shit about me. So now, Brian, Happy New Year. The only thing you have left is to try to rebuild your channel based on your work and your personality, of which you have none. Thoughts and fucking prayers, sir. Okay, that's it. That's it. Clip it, soy boy, clip it. That's the last you're ever going to hear. That's it. Don't say it's classy. It's evil, because I thought about it and now we're pulling the rug out and that's it. That's it. He's essentially made his whole identity about me for the past 2 months. And Mike is no different, but at least Mike had content prior to Brian. You know what I mean? Mike had like a show and he had a platform, and it was not my cup of tea, but it was of certain interest to certain people. But eventually, just so you know, Kathy Carr will fire Mike Crawford and he will never be a host again. And that is going to come to a head with this election season, because Republicans are not going to be interested in listening to a liberal Democrat who hates Trump on that channel when they really start focusing on politics, which nobody has been recently. You know what I mean? So as soon as that happens, as soon as Republicans start pushing back and it affects the bottom line, when the views are down and they have a hard time with advertisers, that is when Mike Crawford will get fired. And so we don't have to do anything with that one. We're just going to wait. We're just going to wait. And he hates Trump supporters 100%. I've been saying this for a long time. It's been a rumbling, amongst people in the party that Mike is over there and they know his political stance and how he was just doing it for the views or whatever. It's going to catch up. It will eventually catch up. And then the only thing Mike Crawford will have, which is exactly what I have, clips of me being on the show and a picture that he can use on the top of his banner on his accounts. And that's pretty much it. So we just wait for that one. But Brian, we took him all the way to the end. And now that's it. Today's the last day. We won't talk about that guy again, because all his content is me. Clips of me going back at me. We've built him up. And now it's done. We're cutting you off. You've got nothing left. Oh, it's so difficult. It's so difficult pretending to not know what I'm doing. Listen, I can't. I'm not going to say it. Why does Howie Carr have Mike Crawford as a host? Because they are subcontractors. They can't bring the views at Howie Carr, and so they bring in people that were getting views. Mike Crawford got views during the Karen Reed trial, and so they subcontract the work out. That's why Aiden went on Howie Carr's show all of the time, because he brought the views. They could never bring the views. We talked about this. They would never let me mention Aiden or any of his stories when I was on the air there before the Karen Reed trial. They said Turtle Boy was bad for advertisers. They would not allow me to talk about him or his stories or anything. So that changed when they saw the views that came from all of the free Karen Reed people. And so you got Mike Crawford on there. They were probably seeing great views when Mike came on. That's going to continue to decline. It's not a suggestion. That's a fact. It's going to continue to decline. All right. Forest through the trees. I like you, Brian, Mike, and Aiden. You can. I would never disparage you for that. I will say, no, I won't actually. We're done with that. Oh, some guy said he was basically going to murder Aiden. I didn't know it was that. That might be different. Yeah, Mike's show got the views because of Bettero. I mean, that's a really great point that I filled in for Howie a couple of times, but I primarily filled in for Grace. They were all talking about, he explained it in great detail. They were talking about all the made in the last year. Cryford said he can take the whole year off and still be okay. That's crazy, but I believe it. I believe that because I think just knowing what I know now, they just must have been making so much money during Karen Reed. So much money. It must have just been, I mean, they must have been having like $30,000 months. I'm not kidding. Like during the height of the Karen Reed thing. Yeah. I mean, they must have been making some serious, serious cash. Again, not the money part of it because I didn't understand how that worked, but just for viewership and sustainability, that's another reason why I didn't want to start during Karen Reed because I knew it would drop off and I knew I had to make it post Karen Reed, not because of Karen Reed. And I deliberately held off until after the trial for that reason. It was hard. It's hard to watch people make money while I wasn't making money. I don't want to talk about how little money I was making, but like I have explained sometimes, I barely broke even some weeks going to trial and covering it. And I knew that people were making some serious, serious cash. And I had to bite the bullet on that. I love reflecting on that actually right now. I love that. Makes everything feel a little bit better. But yeah, it was very difficult. But I believed in this whole thing. I believed in myself and my talent, and I knew that eventually we would get there. And I could have made some fast money, but I just wonder what would have happened if the Karen Reed trial ended like it did with an acquittal, and then not having the ability to parlay all of those viewers into something that had nothing to do with that. And I worried about that. And so I feel like it was just better to do it this way, you know? To think that Aiden was not making money on YouTube then is absolutely crazy. I mean, he must have missed out on hundreds of thousands of dollars. I can't imagine. Um, I think Jess needs to have a moment of silence so everyone can go and like this live. Okay, we'll be quiet. I can't be quiet. I can't sit here and be quiet. Um, I think that's good from like, I don't know how to say that. I want other people in this arena to have success. Um, I don't know why in my mind though, I would prefer if I have to pick between Brian and Mike that Mike have the success. Brian's just a different animal. I don't know. I don't know. Yes, Ben, she is seriously that old. Yeah, you're right. Talking about Bettero is the last straw, which is crazy because Bettero brought him the views. I mean, I'm taking it from you guys. I don't know exactly what kind of viewership he had when Bettero was on, but I would bet it was pretty significant compared to regular viewership. Um, so yikes, you know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Thank you. So yeah, so that's it. So it's 10 o'clock, 20, the difference between 20,000 and 40,000 views versus hundreds. Yeah. I mean, there's never going to be anything like that ever again. And these guys trying to find their identity post Karen Reed is crazy. That is why, Aiden has it, you know what I mean? And he'll always have it. And, he gets tens of thousands of views every single time he does a show. And that's never going to change because of his on air personality, his willingness to share his drama, his giving zero fucks, saying whatever he wants, whether people want to align themselves with that, whether they like to watch that, whether they think it's a train wreck and they like to watch it, whether they're haters and they're waiting for him to say something that they can exploit. Like there's a multifaceted reason why people watch him. At this point with Mike and with Brian, what are the reasons you're watching? To there's no reasons there. It's not good content. It's not even like exciting conversation. It's regurgitating existing news. It's, stale panelists. It's not even interesting, like, I mean, I don't know. It is what it is. So their time's important. People have priorities in their lives. They have a limited amount of time that they can spend it online, and you better give them something, you know what I mean, to make it worth their while, or they're not going to tune in anymore. And for me, I think I give enough of everything, whether it's the politics, whether it's the drama, whether it's my personal life, whether it's my family, whether it's how I do things and my journey, which I think not a lot of people have, but people like to watch because it's a mess. Like whatever, like I think I give enough, you know what I mean? I think we're going to give more, but I think that's a winning combination, and it certainly shows over the past couple of months that it seems to work. So I wish for everybody to find their own success. The pot is big enough where everybody can get a piece of viewership, and but they're just, they're not giving people anything. It's almost a slap in the face to viewers at this point, is that they have the audacity to turn on the camera and not give a show, not give it heart, not give it excitement, not give it anything. Like it's such blind, like, ego to turn on a camera and think that people are okay with what you're doing and that that's enough for them. Like, I never feel it's enough for you guys. You know what I mean? I always feel like I've got to give you more. It's why when somebody says, take us with you and let's go pick up TT, I'm like, I will do what you want. Yes, within reason. These guys, they turn on a camera with their like monotone, like, like diatribes, and they're not even giving you anything. It's fucked up. It's just, quite frankly, it's fucked up. Like, you're just going to turn, like, at least Aiden's going to give you the edge. Like, I may go to jail. Like, I might go to jail for 90 years, and people are going to tune in and they're going to hear about that. They're going to be like, or I have a crazy ex-girlfriend and it's getting out of control. Like people are like, I'm here for it. Thank you. Thank you for this content. Thank you for all of this. Like, you're going to get my husband and I having like kind of like some sort of argument that just happened, and you're going to feel it. And like, then you're going to get like, all of the drama that goes on with my life, and you're going to get a story about something from me that I did in the past that was a disaster. These guys turn on their cameras and they're like, welcome to the show. Thanks. Smash that like button. Absolutely. Let's pull up this mainstream media news article and let's talk about it. Get the fuck out of here. Do you know your people? They don't want that. When your hair is more important to them than any story you're talking about or any content you're bringing to the table, it's a problem. It's problematic. When you're farting on the screen and that gets more reviews and clips than something you said, it's problematic. Mm. Like, what are you gonna do? Your meet and greet at a fucking graveyard? Like, just. uh, uh, like, I'm like, we can't have our meet and greet here because we're probably going to be too loud. These guys are like, we're going to meet at Oak Grove Cemetery at 4 p.m. on a Tuesday afternoon. We'll see you all there. Smash that like button. Kill me. Kill me. Kill me and just bury me right there. Okay. I just can't. Okay. Listen, I'm going to need you all to not hold me accountable. Don't jump into the chat and try to bait me with LTL mic drama. It ends today. I mean, we were going to end it maybe Saturday or Wednesday, but we'll do it today because I'm really loving that Brian is at the height of his anti-Jessica frenzy. The fat shaming and all of the stuff is just it is his whole personality. He has turned himself into a hate machine on the internet, and I love it. And if we just pull that rug out from underneath him, he has nothing else. And so just let's stick with the plan. Okay, besties. Thanks. All right. It's 10 o'clock. We hit 2 hours. We have stuff to do today. We've got to go to the studio. We got to go get these kids up. I don't have anything left to clean in my house. There's just nothing left. It's all clean. It was okay. All right. Thanks for saying hit that like button. I appreciate this. Mr. Monk's understudy. Yes, you missed it. We're having a stop bragging. Who? Hold on. Who's this for? Who is that? Is that about me? Before I say anything, I just want to know if you mean it's about me, for me to stop bragging. Oh, about nothing left to clean. I was gonna be like, bitch, I can brag about anything if I want to. That's why I asked. I was like, I don't know the context of this. Okay. Um, yeah, Mr. Monk, we're doing a meet and greet tentatively on March 14th, which is a Saturday. Okay. Today's Friday. Is today Friday or Thursday? Someone help me. What day is it? I'm not kidding. That's not a joke. Okay, it's Friday. Tomorrow we are doing the Jess Machado show, 9 a.m. We may TT doesn't understand things on the chat. Hold on, I'm going to have to explain it to her. Okay. We'll do a show tomorrow, 9 a.m. I'm thinking about this. We may do field trip tomorrow. We have a couple things that we need to do. It seems to me like this has got what you guys would prefer to do. You can leave a comment, but do you want to run errands with us tomorrow? Yes or no? Like, do you want to go run errands? We got to go to Julia's. We've got to go run some errands. Lily just doxed you. What? What happened? Oh no. All right, I'm going to get off of this and I'm going to go on the internet and see. Oh, joking. Jesus. I was like, do I need to assemble the bunnies? Yes or no? You want to do a field trip? You want to go run errands? Shut this heat off. Um, okay, so we'll do it. We'll do a field trip show tomorrow. I catch one. All I can see is one or two comments at a time. It's troubling. I think I'm going to buy a iPad. Jimmy has told me that that's the way to go, to have it in the car if I'm doing this. These morning shows have turned into like a longer thing, and so maybe we might want to get one of these. Georgia has one, but she uses it all the time. But I think maybe an iPad, even, right? Because I can hook it up to my phone, like my phone's hotspot. I just need to be able to do things in the chat and read the chat. So I bet I can probably buy a refurbished iPad online. I think you can do that. So I'm going to go look and I'll see. I don't know. I have no idea where to even begin with that kind of stuff. You know me. I don't know the technological thingies. Yes, you can take it. That's the way I think I'm going to do it. Okay. All right, besties. I've got to go. Got to go to the studio. Maybe if I'm there, I'll pop on. I don't know. We'll see. See the vibe when I walk in. I may open the door to the studio and cry. There's a 9 out of 10 chance that that's going to happen. Yes, I can. Okay, perfect. All right. So you have an Android, so you'll need a tablet. Oh, and not I don't want to connect it. I just need to be able to turn on my hotspot and use the Wi-Fi from my phone for the tablet. So I think it can be an iPad. I don't know the answer to this. Like, I have no idea. I will have to figure it out. Don't cry. I can't stop it. I'm an emotional person. I walk in and if I start crying, last time I walked in, I got angry. And then I was with Jeffrey. And then just before I closed the door, I cried again. So it is what it is. You can get a brand new one for $280. That seems expensive to me. I'm not making the kind of money Mike Crawford is making yet, where $280 is not a big deal. That sounds like a very costly item. Can I find a tablet for $99? That sounds like something I would want to invest in. I'm going to use it in my car to look at a chat. Why do I can't spend $300. I hope I never get to the point in wealth where I just go, sure, that's not that big of a deal. One of the besties sent me a blanket and I didn't open it on screen because it came and it was big. And the box was big and heavy. And I was like, this obviously seems like something I want to open right now. And so I opened it and inside is a blanket called a Minxie. Is that how you say it? Minxie? Okay. And it's a blanket from Utah and it's been featured on the Real Lives of Mormon Wives. I haven't seen that. But the bestie lives in Utah and she was like, I wanted to send you like something from here. And this thing is the most luxurious blanket I have ever seen in my life. I don't know what it is made of. It feels like an animal, but also like a hug. I'm not sure. Okay. So I get this thing, I open it and I'm like, it's in this beautiful red bag. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, what is this? And I open it up and it is unbelievably luxurious. And so I showed Jeff at first and he's like, that looks nice. Didn't say anything, right? But eventually he loves it. And he was holding it the other day. So I sent a picture to TT. And I was like, look at this. And she's like, oh my God, that's so nice. And so then I sent a picture to Julia and I was like, look at this blanket. I mean, it's like amazing. And Julia like messaged me back and she's like, that blanket is like very expensive. And she sent a picture of it from the website. And I was like, this is too luxurious. And then the bestie said she didn't necessarily pay for it. I don't want to give the details or whatever, but just having that blanket in my house, it's probably the most expensive thing I have. It's like, it's a very disproportionate piece of wealth in my home that Like, I never worry about anybody breaking into my house because they are just going to get old things. Like, there's nothing here at all. I mean, what do you want? Do you want my trinkets? Do you want my lamp? There's nothing in this house. That blanket is the extent of wealth. You know, TVs, I used to be like, oh, somebody will break in for a flat screen. Not when you can buy them for $199 at Walmart. Nobody's coming here to get that. There's nothing here. Lucy. Yes, Lucy. All right. We got to go. Yes, I do. I did have a wonderful person, a wonderful Bessie message me, and she said, I can talk you through all of your taxes this year, write-offs, all of those things. This is my first year that I've done this as an actual business. I registered my business with the state. I have taxes taken out. There's a lot. Listen, the key here is I didn't make a lot of money this year, so I think it'll be fine. I don't know what this will look like, but I have a bestie that messaged me, and I'm going to take her up on her offer to assist with the tax situation. The fact that we even have to pay taxes makes me, I'm fine with paying taxes as long as my tax dollars are being used for things that benefit me, not to be just handed out to people who cross the border and, are living off of my tax dollars. That makes me want to just rage. Okay, I see a lot of comments about the tablets. Once I'm off, I will go up and I will take a peek. This is a good time to get what did that say? This is a good time to get an open item iPad at Best Buy because of returns after Christmas. What's that? Oh, like somebody returned it, it was open? Yeah. Please look up Leah Rosen. Okay. I go back to the chats and read. I just can't see them. We need a field trip. That'll be Saturday. Peace out. Bye, Jay. Cornish. Makes me not, I can't see anything. Try new, Jess. All right, we'll find one. Okay, I will look at all of these suggestions. Thanks. But it might make this experience better in the mornings, I think. We'll see. We want to keep overhead low. We don't want to do crazy things like go and get a studio space that costs $1,000 a month or $4,000 for a table. Do you know that? Since it's the last day, Brian had a table made for his studio, a custom made table. It was there the day I did the only day I went to the studio, which was the day that I went with Nathan and we did that interview. And he was like, oh, do you like this table? I had this table custom made. And I was like, oh, wow. I don't know about tables. I don't really know. You know what I mean? Whatever. He had all the fancy equipment, but he spent $4,000 on that table. He said he spent $4,000 on a custom made table for everybody to sit at and all of those things. That's the kind of money that these guys were making during the Karen Read trial, that he had $4,000 to spend on a custom made table. I have a table that I got from my studio, and it was a $58 foldable collapsible table from Walmart, which I currently still use. Yeah, $4,000 on the table. I mean, that's what he told me. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just telling you that that's what he told me. Every person had an iPad. He invested a lot in it, but I don't know. Save all the receipts. I do. I pretty much save everything. Yes. He's lying. He did. He bragged about it. I just have a plain foldable fucking table. I don't need it to look a certain way. Again, I learned very early on that I didn't invest a ton of money in my studio, but look what happened. Listen, I didn't buy expensive things at all. Most of the things in my studio were bought at Walmart or on Amazon, and it was minimal money. And I had a hard time pulling the trigger on some of those things, but because I did like not a crowdfunding thing, but like I was like, hey, listen, I'm going to be starting a studio. If you would like to help contribute to that, people donated money. I got a certain dollar amount. It wasn't a lot. There were a lot of people that donated, but it wasn't a lot of money. I had to stretch that to cover everything. And I didn't even invest in like the equipment part of it. It was just, and also I wasn't getting paid from anything. You know what I mean? So like that, to get that off the ground, I spent minimal money. And then what I did spend, look what happened. I don't even have the studio anymore, and then there was that week or two where I was like, can I really do this without a studio? Turns out the answer is yes. Turns out I can do it in my vehicle. Turns out I can do it in a corner of Julia's room. But even that little bit of money I spent, I feel a little guilty about, because now look, I'm going back to the studio to like, take all of this stuff and, distribute it to TT's office and, put the chair in my bedroom. And it's like, these are things I would have never spent money on. And so I have a little bit of like buyer's remorse, I guess, when it comes to that stuff, but it is what it is. I thought it was the right thing to do, and I didn't protect myself enough. You know what I mean? It could still be taken away. Still could be taken away. So anyway. Okay. Never understood why LTL. I mean, there was definitely, for me, well, I can say this. Julia was still living at home, and I didn't even have the space to do my show. And you guys can see, at the time, I didn't think family distractions were going to be okay. And so I needed a space to do the show. That's how it started. I was talking to my friend Kathy, and she was like, what do you need? And I was like, I need a space. And she got me a space that day, but it was really about privacy. It wasn't about the space. I mean, that studio could have been half the size and I would have been okay. I needed the privacy. I needed quiet. You know what I mean? To get this off the ground. Once you have the space, filling it turned into like, a thing or whatever. And, maybe I took some suggestions from people that I shouldn't have done, but I needed the space, the privacy. And then I learned that you guys actually prefer to have me at home. You prefer the interjection from family. What's funny? I thought about that too, because I was thinking about it, and then I'll let you go. We always say I'm going to let you go. But I remember I did a live stream. Who did I do it with? I did a show episode. I was working for Fall River Reporter, but I went live from my dining room, and I did something. I don't know if it was a response to Kate Peter or something. Like, remember I sent Kate Peter questions? I don't remember. And I remember getting feedback from people saying the favorite part was your dogs and your family walking in and out of it. I never really thought about that. I should have then, because it was there. People were like, oh, we like this at your house. You know what I mean? Like, we liked your family popping in and out and stuff. And I was more concerned with, was that looking like unprofessional? Was that looking like a distraction? Like, am I like a loser because I'm trying to do some sort of a live stream, not in a studio or like in a professional news environment? You know what I mean? And so I should have paused and looked at that and maybe recognized right away. But hindsight is what, 50-50. Turns out this is what it's better. You like relatable. You like it's more real. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying I tried to hide that, but I'm just saying like I tried something and it seems like it's better this way. People like it. I don't know. I like your show. Well, I like your show without Erin because it felt like you had inside jokes, and now we are on the inside jokes. Erin is nice, so no negative. Yeah, I also didn't realize that at the time as well. You know what I mean? Like I see that a lot, and people say, it looked distracting and you guys were side talking and we weren't in on it. And I know a big part of the Erin wanted a microphone, and then that would have, maybe you guys would have been in on it more, but not really hindsight on this, but I wasn't really motivated to mic Erin up as much because I really want to just be the person talking. Like, I want this to be my show. And I'm not saying like I didn't want to share, but like it just I didn't want too much of other people's personalities to be a part of my show because it's my show. And at the end of the day, like it's on me. You know what I mean? I have to carry it. I want it to be mine. And it's nothing about Erin. I'm just saying anybody. Like it's why I don't even really have guests anymore. It's you know what I mean? You can see it. Like I don't even really love the guests part of it. It's fine, but I just don't know if that's what I wanted. So everything does happen for a reason. Yeah, I'm a one woman show. And I don't know if that looks selfish to some people or whatever, but like, I just don't love guests. I don't like, I can interview people like professional interviews. I do it on WBSM all the time. But yeah, I just like it to just be me. And also 100% without another person, even as minimal as it was, I feel much more connected to the audience than I did before. I was distracted and it definitely feels better to have like this connection and one-on-one. I feel like we're FaceTiming sometimes. You know what I mean? Oh, TT is getting upset. That is very different, TT. I think it's very, very different. TT's not a guest. TT's just an extension of me when TT's on the show. Sorry, TT, I didn't mean that. Number one child, I don't know what you mean. Except for my closet. Oh, see, I'm insulting everybody. Cyber Chick Boston. Cyber Chick Boston was very helpful to me. That was my first show in the closet, and I was very glad to have something to fill that space. And she was a good listen, and it was a very interesting story. It still is. I'm saying mean things inadvertently. It's not what I mean. TT's cyber. Everybody's the. I loved my guests, and that was great. I love this in a different way. I still should have more guests and maybe I will do that again. Sorry, TT. Oh, yay, Tori. Yay. We have a younger sister. TT and I have a younger sister. I like the unplanned pop-in guests the best. TT is real. Yeah, she's our fashion correspondent. I will bring in guests. I will do something with Jimmy. I do. It's hard for me. I'll work on it. Okay. All right, everybody. TT's back, but I gotta go. She'll probably call me. She probably already messaged me 3 times while I've been on here. TT can take us to TJ Maxx. Thank you for that feedback, Kim. Amy with the waffles was the best guest. I mean, Amy saved our marriage that day because that went off the rails. Jess, have you called the Wednesday guy? I have not called Peter. I was feeling a little guilty about that. I don't want it to be like some sort of like exploiting this man, so I felt really kind of guilty about it. I may check in again and see if it's okay. Meow 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 meow. People are always trying to bring you down with your private life. What part about it? I mean, everybody has a private life. Everybody has. Peter was kind of off the last time she talked to him, but yeah, that's what I mean. I didn't want to do anything. I just got not bad vibes, but I just didn't feel right. The waffles. All right, besties, let's get off this fucking phone. Get off. 30% of you watch on your TVs. Who has this whole thing on your TV screen? It's more the reason why I don't put my face on the screen. You were in the car with us on Lucy Day. Trauma, but look at the Santa pic. That field trip will never be matched, I don't think. You and I need to go on the show to see how much we know about each other. Is TT saying like go on Jimmy's show? Jess, you should do a softer lighting on your bunny after dark. I'll work on it. Takes me a long time to do all of the things. All right, TT, I'll figure it out. Twins episode. Oh, the record store was a great time too. We've had some good field trips. Jamie, what was it called when I feel like there's another name for it. I mentioned it one time and now it's escaping me. But back in the day when I worked at the Belmont and some of the old timers and Jimmy Walsh, rest in peace, would say, we're going to go out for the day and we're going to go do things. What did they used to call it? I feel like we called, I got TT Fabuloso sponges as a gag gift for Christmas because that bitch loves Fabuloso more than anybody. And she's using them. What was that called, TT? When I feel like it begins with an S. What was it called? Safari. Oh, they used to call it go on a safari. And like in my 20s as a bartender, like sometimes they'd be like, we're going to go on a safari. And it would be like 10 o'clock in the morning. They'd start off at the Belmont. They'd have a couple drinks. And then it was like wherever the day these old timers would take you, you'd end up at Foxwoods. You'd end up at the Asona Inn for lunch. Sometimes they'd go on safaris and they would come back and bring me food. Like sometimes I would be off and I would go with them. Sometimes TT would go with them. Like they were called safaris. Like you never really knew where you were going. You never knew what time you were coming back. And so I think maybe we do call them field trips, but I think it ended at Foxwoods one time. I know, Jamie, do you know what? It ended at Foxwoods one time. You went on the safari and Jimmy Walsh brought me a $5 chip from Foxwoods. I still have it. I think we should call them safaris instead of field trips. We're going to go on a safari. It is the best kind of day. Also with just randos. You know what I mean? Like we were not with like people we really knew that well. Like we're just going on a safari with the regulars from the Belmont Club. Crawls, yes. I mean, I remember one time I went with Jimmy Walsh. Jamie, I went with Jimmy Walsh and this guy Macon, not Bacon, Macon. And we hit like 6 bars in a day. I ultimately ended up driving at the end. And I just remember going to bars and playing Keno and doing scratch tickets and then just getting in the car and going to the next place all day long. I don't know if we should change it to safari or if we should just keep it on a field trip. Can you imagine? Oh, we used to do Chinese fire drills. Yep, I remember doing that. I will say that like the time before kids and that time, a lot of people don't understand this and TT will get this. But I grew up in such a very strict household where I couldn't do anything. I couldn't go anywhere. I was grounded all the time. And oh my God, hold on a second. Hi. Are you delivering a box for me?
Yeah.
Somebody who's watching sent it to me.
Oh, wow, that's crazy.
Thank you. Do you need me to do anything?
I have, nope, I don't think it needs a signature.
Okay.
That's insane.
Yeah. Somebody said you're going to get a box and it's going to be fragile. And here it is.
Oh.
I do a live stream. And so all the besties are watching it right now.
Oh, nice. I do have a certified. Do you want to?
Also, it's my husband's, right? I saw it.
I did leave notice on just because I wasn't sure with the dogs. Where would you like me to knock going forward? Or do they
Oh, to knock?
give notice or
What do you mean? Like to knock, you mean?
yeah, to sign something?
If the dog's not in the yard, you can go in the front.
Go in the front?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No problem.
Yeah,
If
this
not,
is the back family room and they might not hear you.
I figured that I'm like, I'll do it today. I'm lucky. Sometimes somebody's out here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or you.
Okay.
I'm getting the hang of everything.
Are you all permanent now?
I am.
Hi, I'm
I'm
Jessica.
Tanya.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I've been here since March, but it's
I haven't
still-
seen you all the time. It's
I don't
been
get to talk to everybody.
Yeah.
So it's like trying to figure out what everybody needs. Sign on the top, print. It's okay if it's messy.
there's always somebody here.
Right. That's what I figured too. I mean,
Especially if this truck is here. My husband works from home a lot.
yeah. And I have no problem with I don't. It's not the dogs.
Yeah.
It is and it isn't. If I go into the yard and they bite me, I don't want that. Obviously, and you don't want that either. But
Yep.
as long as they're not in the yard, they're fine.
They
to
have
knock.
no access to the yard unless they're in it.
Right,
So
no
it's not like a
problem.
dog
Yeah,
door
you
or
don't want
anything.
either.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you could come up this back door, but I'm telling you, this is usually locked. The sunroom, and then you got another room.
Packages there.
That's fine. Yep, you can leave those there.
If you have a package that needs to be signed for, I'll sign for it if you want.
Yeah, yeah,
I
of
don't care.
course.
It's just legal stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, better have
Yep.
them sign for it.
Yep. Okay.
Not legal stuff, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it's the DOR.
yeah.
Everybody got audited around here. I don't like everybody in my house got like reassessed on their taxes. Yeah.
All that happened to me once. It wasn't a nightmare, but I'm like me. I have no
Yeah.
dependents, no nothing. Like I don't know.
What are they looking for?
That's what I'm saying.
It was nice to meet you, Tanya. Thanks. Let's go back in the car. Do we want to do an unboxing while we're here? Can we ever just have a regular show? I don't know if you guys could hear anything. Sorry. Can we ever just have a regular, non-eventful show? Yeah, so we have a new mail lady. I knew that it was her. Let's open my husband's mail. He's here. So my job as the wife is to anything involving money, taxes, or anything, I need to look at it first, figure out what it is, ease my husband into it. I actually don't, I know exactly, not exactly, but hold on. Let's open it. Oh, so this is, it's crazy that they're sending this. Our records show you haven't paid a tax listed for the account number, blah, 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 and it isn't under appeal. We will refer your debt to the U.S. Treasury's office. It's $54.08. So basically, to save my husband the stress about this, I will just pay the $54.08. What does this say? Oh my God, at the bottom of it, it says paying taxes means more money for roads, schools, and public safety in your community. Pay online at Mass. Okay, so I can just pay it online. So this is when my husband had his surgery last year. He went out of work and I guess, I don't know, he didn't pay taxes on some of the income that he got from, what do you call it? What do you call it? Not like, it's not disability, but like he was just out of unemployment or whatever. Anyway, so he owes $54.08 left. I think this is left over. I think we paid everything and then that was left over. We're going to do an unboxing, but I'm going to be honest with you. I can't be on the screen. See what happens here. Okay, that's good. I'm a mess. You know what I mean? Can you believe that we got an unboxing delivered while we were on here? We did the payment plan, but we paid it off like very quickly. It wasn't a lot of money. But it looks to me like that's what's left over. Everybody in the house, and it wasn't just us, because I meant to say like TT as well, but like a lot of people, their taxes got audited, and like Jack had to pay an extra like $30. Julia had to pay another $100. TT had to pay a ton. Jeff and I had to pay but it was minimal. But then Jeff had this money from unemployment that didn't get paid. So that looks like that's the last of us. You didn't get audited? What was it? Was it an adjustment? I think it was an adjustment. This is from Darla. And I happen to have a pair of scissors in the car. Is Darla still here in the chat? Oh no, wait, Darla wasn't in the chat. She was messaging me and it popped up on the top of my screen. And she said, you're expected to get it today. This is fun, an unboxing for the besties who managed to stay. It says fragile. And I had a pair of scissors in my car. This is fun. What is it? Good morning. Oh, an adjustment. Oh, Jesus. Messica. Wait, this is full of popcorn thingies. This is, oh my God. Jeffrey will lose his mind. This has got all of these things in it. We're going to have to dig without making a mess. What's in this? There's a dryer sheet in here. What is this? Bessie, what did you send? What is this? All of the popcorn things are sticking to it. Is this a Pyrex? Is this a Pyrex? I don't want to even show you the mayhem that is this car right now. There's packing peanuts. Fingers crossed Jeffrey is not watching this. Oh my God, hold on. It's Pyrexes. It's Pyrex bowls. I don't know what year these are. And a baby one, too. Ah! Bestie! What a great gift! I need to know the lore behind this, though. Like, how did you achieve these? Are these familial ones? Did you find these? Where did you get them? So those of you who don't know, in the bottom, Pyrex is here, and then it has numbers, and then like you can figure it out. But I have a Pyrex thing saved on my phone, and it shows the prints and it shows all of the years. By the way, that snowflake Pyrex that one of the besties gifted me on one of the shows, that is a very old Pyrex, and it doesn't compute in my head because it's in perfect condition. But if I'm correct, that Pyrex is from like the late 50s. These are cherries. Bestie, what a gift! Thank you so much. They will be so loved. Just so you know, I use my Pyrexes all the time, mostly on Sundays. Not even mostly on Sundays, all the time. But I use them all the time. I cook so much. I bake so much. Wow. I do. I use them. TT knows. Currently, right now, the snowflake one that the bestie sent is on my kitchen counter with potatoes in it. This is 1970 to 1980 Pyrexes. Vintage Pyrex red cherries, cherry gingham, checkered glass mixing bowls, 32 and 35. What year? Do we have a year? Because all of them have years. These are in fantastic shape. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like they are perf. I have some Pyrex bowls that everything is kind of like worn off. What year do we have for these? They don't make anything like this anymore. No, I know. I'm obsessed with I'm just obsessed. Pyrex reminds me of my grandmother. It's the 80s, amazing. I could cry. Thank you for this very much. I appreciate it. My first Pyrex was my grandmother's. It's a blue bowl, and she had them like nesting set. And through the years, I only have one of them. It's one of the only ones that we have, but I have it. And don't tell me the dollar amounts that they're worth, because I will never get rid of my Pyrex. These are going to my daughters. Like someday this will be Julia's or George's. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. Now I feel like now I feel like I just want to drive over to Savers and Salvation Army and see if we can find some. We're not doing that. We're not going on a safari, but this literally is making me want to just turn the car on and drive and go and check, because I'm obsessed with them. I love them so much. I use them all the time too. These are going to be great for like summer fruit and things. I will use them. It's becoming problematic in regards to space. I may have to rearrange a cabinet and just put them all in there tomorrow. Oh yeah. TT, wait, you want to go on safari tomorrow? Wait, TT, do you want to do this tomorrow? Okay, we'll go tomorrow. Okay. All right. Camera's going off. You guys already saw my face in the morning with no makeup or whatever. Bestie, Darla, thank you very much. This was extremely generous and thoughtful. And I love them, and I can't wait to bring them in the house and add them to the collection. They look brand new. Oh my God, there's like I need the lore. That's all I need to know. I need to know, were these yours? Did you find them somewhere? Like, look at them. They're in really, really great shape. I have a couple of clear Pyrex, but none with any print on them or anything. They're just the regular generic Pyrexes. I would normally not even include those in the collection, because those are obviously everywhere. But these are the very big exception. Okay. Oh, happy Annie. I am not, but thank you very much. All right, besties. I will see you guys tomorrow. Sounds like we're going on a safari with TT. We'll go look for some Pyrex that I definitely don't need, but I will get. Can you show us someday what Pyrex you already have? Yes. Do you want to do that right now? Let's go inside the house. We got to gather the things. Well, okay, how's this going to work? No, let's not do it now, because I'm going to have to like take them all out of the cabinet and put them all out, and it will be a little chaotic. But maybe I'll do it Saturday morning before we go live. There's a lot. There's probably some that are just washed like on the counter. I use them all the time. What do you mean? No, come on. Oh, I'm constantly influenced by the things that go on in this chat. Fine, give me a second. But where's my wallet? It's under this box. So we got to get that. We're going to come back for the box, but we're taking the Pyrex in. We can't leave the babies in the car by themselves, but we're leaving the box with all of the things. I'm doing it. Relax. My only thing is here, I've got to come back to this car before Jeffrey does, because if he sees this box with these peanuts in it, he is going to be pissed off. We also have to take the notice of the $50 tax thing, so he doesn't see that. And go pay that immediately. All right, let's go inside. I'm bringing you in. Relax. Here we go. Phone, wallet, keys, Pyrex. Okay, let's go. Can't believe we got a live unboxing as I was doing the live. All right, let's go. Hi, Reagan. Hi, Quincy. You're bringing me your toy? Does that mean you want to go outside?
Let's get outside. Hold on, we have to take boots off. We have to switch to Nike slides, my footwear of choice in the house. Okay, let's go. Good morning, Gingy. We put those bowls down and let's get the dogs outside. Okay. Come on, let's go. Oh, I forgot to talk to you about the birds. I said this morning, and then I said, can somebody remind me? Georgia has developed a major anxiety around the birds. And she is asking me to rehome them after 8 years. She said, hold on. We don't have to whisper. We just have to reassess everything. She is saying that she has tremendous guilt about the birds being in a cage, and it is causing her anxiety every day. Good morning. Hi, Vincent. Hi, Mia. Okay, let's. They have a very big cage. We bought like the fucking mansion of bird cages during COVID. So they have a very large cage. It's like a condo. It's 3 stories. It's huge. They live their best life. And in the summer, we let them out in the sunroom and they just fly around in there. But I'm going to leave you on the table in the kitchen and I have to go to the bathroom. Stand by. TT screaming, no fucking birds. What does that mean? All right. I'm going to clear a space on the dining room table and I will bring out the Pyrex. Hold on. Can you hear the birds? I'm sure you can. Hold on. So, of course, there are 3 bowls that we have used over the past couple of days, not yesterday. Is that one? These. I have to make 2 trips. I'll be back. Stand by. I mean, there's a lot. Hold on.
Okay, I feel like that's not everything, but hold on. Okay, how are we gonna do this with the camera? Because how are we gonna do this? I'm gonna have to show my face on camera. I fucking hate all of you for this, just so you know. Like, screw all of you. Hold on. I hope you appreciate this. Also on my table is Saki cleansing balm, which has been going in the shower and Georgia used it. So this was right on my table, just an FYI. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, hi. Good morning. Can you see and can you hear me? Okay, great. Let's go over all of the Pyrex bowls I have. Okay, can we see and hear everything is okay? Okay. Here are my newest additions. This one and a baby one. And they nest. Okay, that has to stop. Stop that. Okay. This is my first Pyrex. This is from the 80s. This, oh, there's one missing. Wait, there's one missing. I had to wash it. It was in the sink. This one, okay. So this was a nesting set. This is my grandmother's. This is from the 80s. So it's this one. And it has those handles and that's what it looks like. This is probably one of my favorites. It's the smaller version, but it's in the wheat. This one is, I believe, the 70s, late 60s and 70s. But they have 3 sizes. It nests inside, but I don't have a full set of those, obviously. But we had a full set my grandmother used, but this is the only one that I have. Then I have this little one. This one is the same kind, but it is all faded. It doesn't look like this in its natural form, but you can see it's completely faded. For some reason, this one was far more expensive than other ones. I don't know why. It's in the worst shape. You can tell like it's, I don't know, but this one was like $14, which is crazy. So those are all of those. This is currently my favorite. I use it for cereal every day. You have the larger orange wheat one.
Yes, we wash these by hand, but this is my favorite one and it's in wonderful shape. So there's those. This, I have a whole set of these little mini Pyrex ones. I don't know. I think I have 6 or 7 of them. So I have these. These I use for butter or like condiments and things like that. Can we please stop? Hey, you're too loud. The birds. So I have a bunch of these. This is one of my pride and joys. Look at this little one. She's red. She's very worn out. But I use her for every time I make something with green onions that can be added. Like this was on the table with green onions and people can add as they want, but I use this one all the time. I mean, every day. Like so far, everything I've shown you, I use. I'm just looking, I use them every day. Well, except for this, hold on. So this was one of my original green bowls. As you can see, it's completely destroyed, but this is the one that we found, same kind, but we found at Lucy's estate sale. So this is what it originally looked like in perfect condition on the inside. This one is the same bowl, same year or everything, but this one has been loved. I've had this one for about 5 years maybe, but this one it was beaten up when I got it. So you can tell the bottom, it's not as great as this one. I mean, this is pristine for the most part. So same bowl, but if I see a Pyrex, I can't not get it. So I have 2 of those. Then in the glass style collection, we have, so these are kind of frosted on the outside, but they have glass bottom. And I don't know much about these at all either, but there's just something about them. See, like, I don't know. So this one's peach. And then that's the peach baby. And at a different time, I got the peach mommy. And this is my good bread bowl. So for some reason, I don't know why, these have a tendency to retain heat better. So when I'm getting ready to make bread, like these bowls are cold right now, just being in the cabinets, they're cold. But I take them out and I fill them with warm water so that the bowl is warm when I put my dough in it, because you want it to be warm so the yeast can work. This bowl, for some reason, retains a ton more heat than like the green bowl. And so this is my bread bowl where I usually make my dough. I make my pizza dough in this one. So I use this one. How do I have room for all of these? Remember I told you I have a ton of cabinets in my kitchen, like a ton. So yeah, I call this one Mama Peach and Baby Peach. This used to be my cereal bowl until I got the orange wheat bowl. They're almost the same size inside, but the orange wheat bowl is just my baby. But anyway, this is Mama Peach and Baby Peach. And then recently I found a white one just like this in the same kind, but it's smaller. So if we had a complete set of peaches, it would go like that. But this one is white. And also there's just something about this one too. Like it's really great. I don't use this one a lot. And then I have just 2 more. This is my pride and joy. This is a Pyrex pie dish, and if you can see, it was pink, and it is very well loved. It's white on the bottom, it's white on the inside, but it's pink here. I bought this for 99 cents at Savers, and I actually make pies in it. So chocolate cream pie, Toll House pie, chicken pie. So this one, and the more wear and tear on this one, I absolutely love it. So this is good. Obviously I don't make pies every day, but this stays in the cabinet because I use it. And then honestly, this is one of my favorite pieces, is what the bestie gave. It currently has potatoes in it. It's on my cabinet. I mean, like on the counter. This is a absolutely gorgeous, beautiful Pyrex. I can't believe it. It was in perfect condition. I feel like it was never even used. Um, I mean, it was like brand new. The bottom, not a mark on it, not one mark on it. It is the best size. I really, really love it. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know why I love them. It's nostalgic for my grandmother, but that's my Pyrex collection. So it's not really that extensive. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then if you count these, I have more of these. I don't know, like these are okay. I have no emotional attachment to this Pyrex. Is this the 2.5 quart casserole dish? Beats the heck out of me. It is. It's the 2.5. Oh, I can read it to you on the bottom. 045, 2.5 quart Pyrex, made in the USA. Has a number 8 on it. If I'm correct, you guys can look this one up for me. I believe this one is the 1950s. These bowls don't have lids. They don't come with lids. What's this one? Am I correct in the year? Because I have like I said, I have a sheet that I have saved on my phone, and it shows me all of the Pyrexes and their years. On my sheet, this is white with blue snowflakes, but I believe that this one is like from the 50s, 1956. That doesn't equate in my head because this one, oh, it has a lid. This one is in such amazing condition. I can't believe it. There's no way this equates to me that this is that old. The small rectangular one has a lid. Oh, I didn't know that. That's okay. I love it all the same. I like that they're all like misfits. I absolutely love them all. They're beautiful. I love them. My grandmother used to put American chop suey in like the bigger one of these. This was literally on my grandmother's table when we ate there when we were little kids. And so, I don't know. What did somebody just say? Hold on. What does this say? I think I'm feeling all sorts of levels of jealousy now. No, it's not a lot. It's just a few. And this isn't even, there's no like money invested in some of these, just under $10, most of them. It's my favorite. I love this one. And then obviously that's why like people sending me these things, it's like, it's, I don't know. I feel like I don't deserve these things, but if you are sending me, just so that you know, I am using them, as you can tell. Okay. I've done things I don't want to do today, which is go on camera. Oh, there's like a plant here. So you're getting all of that. I've gone on camera with no face, haven't brushed my teeth. I use it. Don't be jealous. Let's just search for Pyrex together every day. I just think it's like such an inexpensive like thing to collect, and I use them all the time. I do love you. Ooh. No, nothing. Anyway, I love them. I use them all the time. I have a cabinet in the kitchen. It's a corner cabinet. My regular day-to-day dishes like plates and things are on the first shelf. My cabinets are so high, they have 3 shelves. So I have some of these on the 3rd shelf, but most of them are on the 2nd shelf of that cabinet, and they nest, and then I interchange and use them. But I mean, 3 of these were on the counter having been washed from yesterday. I use them all the time, and then I put them out on the table and I use these. I love them. Look at this. She's such a hardy little girl. She's just, you're not seeing these birds. Ugh. They're there. Okay, can we be done? This has been an extraordinarily long. I've got stuff to do. I've got to get, oh, you have them. Oh, I know. I mean, the cherry bowls, I'm just
they keep catching me out of the corner of my eye. Like those are very, very charming. Very charming. Tells the whole story of Pyrex. Ooh, can you send me that link? I would like to see that. I know I'm going to shut this off and I'm just going to start looking at Pyrex. This is fun. I can't see how this is interesting, but this is my life. I don't know. Don't know what else to say. Bay Harbor Beauty, have a great day. All right, everybody, let's go. Let's get our days going. I hear Jack rumbling around, so maybe he's up. Thanks for hanging out with me, besties. Don't judge my house. Okay, goodbye. Have a good day.